Hey, you don't work here. Want a job? By user icon 805. This didn't happen to me, but it was relayed to me by the manager. There was a locally owned hardware store close to where I was working. This place had the most amazing selection of fasteners, nuts/bolts/screws/ etc., down to M2 Allen screws, the kind of stuff you'd never find at a big box. Everything was always in its place. You would never see a bag of M3x5 screws in the M3x8 slot. It was heaven for a tinkerer like me. One evening I complimented the manager on how immaculate the section always was, and she started laughing. She tells me that it used to be a mess, but one day everything was in the right spots, but none of the employees would take credit. They all hated having organized the section. I can't blame them, and everyone was confused. They started joking about being visited by the Bolt Fairy. A couple days later she notices a teen boy intently looking through one of the drawers, then he moves a few bags around and closes it. She realized she was witnessing the Bolt Fairy in action. He notices he's being watched, he muttered a timid "I'm sorry," and turns to leave. The manager stops him and says, "Don't be sorry, but I can't have you working here, unless you work here. Can you come back later with your mom or dad?" He mutters a shy okay and leaves. About an hour later he comes back with his mom. The mom was looking apprehensive and apologetic. The teen looked like he knew he was about to be in big trouble. The mom explained that her son was autistic, and loved organizing things. He wouldn't get stressed about things that were disorganized, but just enjoyed sorting stuff. The manager explained that for insurance, legal and moral reasons he couldn't work in the store, unless he worked for the store. The mom said that it wouldn't happen again, and the teen's eyes started to water. That's when the manager pulled out an application in a uniform polo and asks what hours he wanted to be scheduled. The mom just started laughing and the boy exploded into tears of joy. I found out later that he worked there for about 2 years, until his family had to move across the country. When he put in his notice, the owner found out where they were moving, went online and found another locally owned hardware store with good reviews, contacted them and gave a glowing recommendation. I don't work here but I can make you some Vietnamese food, by user Asian pork belly. TLDR, I went to a restaurant but ended up cooking a dish for a customer. I'm originally from Vietnam but have been living in the state for quite a long time. One day, I went to a Thai restaurant with my friends that we were regular and even became friends with all of the staff. I overheard a woman sitting behind us talking about a dish she had had in Vietnam that was really good but couldn't remember its name or find it anywhere. And it was what she really wanted for her birthday. From what she described, I knew exactly what she meant and decided to give it a go. It's not something popular like pho or spring rolls, and normally served at home or local restaurants along with cheap craft beer. So it's understandable that she couldn't find it here. I went to the kitchen, asked people there if I could do that for her, and if they had the ingredients. They're okay and had everything, so I made it. It's a pork belly dish with the skin on that you fry the meat on high heat until golden, get as much fat out as possible, then pour in the sauce mixture of oyster sauce, fish sauce, sugar, pepper, message, lime juice, chili, plus lots of shallot, garlic and chopped spring onions. I served that with some steamed rice, some fresh basils and a cold can of beer. I brought it over and told her that I didn't work there but would love to serve her the food that I had overheard she was talking about. She was surprised at first and later went to give me a big hug. The staff enjoyed the dish as well. So I guess everyone was happy. Edit, since lots of you guys ask for the dish's name and the recipe. Here it is. 1 name, BACH Rang Che CNH, fish sauce glazed pork belly. 2 ingredients. Pork belly. Seasoning, fish sauce, oyster sauce, pepper, sugar, message, optional, lime juice, optional, nor pork bouillon powder, optional. Veggies, chili, fresh is better but dried is fine, as well as chili sauce, lots of shallots, 1 to 3 cloves of garlic, and lots of green onions. 3 Preparation, use these 2 videos as suggestion for how to cut the pork and how to cook them. There are many ways to make this dish but they need the same ingredients. https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = qx8i4p9rv8. https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = imxjcsp26s. Pork, cut the pork either into slices or cubes. If it has gunky smell, soak it in cooking wine with some pepper and salt. Rinse and dry it before cooking. Or you can do as Helen in the video above, boil with some salt and cooking wine/vinegar. Sauce mixture, just like how we add water to our rice, we measure everything until our ancestors tell us to stop. So you can have a taste and adjust to your own taste. Basically, 1 teaspoon fish sauce comes with 2 teaspoon water, 1 teaspoon sugar, 1 to 2 teaspoon oyster sauce. Optional of 1 teaspoon pork bouillon powder, 1/2 teaspoon message, 1 to 2 teaspoon lime juice. Veggies, depends on how lazy you are, I normally just smash garlic cloves and leave them just that, or you can chop them a bit. With shallots, just slice them up, and the more you add, the better it comes out at the end. With the green onions, cut the white bit off and put them together with the garlic and shallots. With the green bit, slice them however long or short you want, I normally slice them about 1 inch. For cooking, add just a little bit of oil, depends on how much fat your pork belly is. Fry them on medium or high heat on each side until golden. You will see quite a lot of fat coming out. Drain them out into a bowl and save them for next time cooking, like Asian stir-fry veggies. Once you see the pork get golden, if not, don't worry, throw the garlic, shallot of white bit of spring onion in and pepper. Stir them well. When you get the smell and scent from the garlic and shallot, pour the sauce mixture in. I normally go with 1/2 or 2/3 of the sauce first. Stir and taste to see what the dish need to be added. You can always add more saltiness in, but hard to get it out. The last bit is throwing the spring onions in, stir couple minutes. Then it's all done. 5 serving, this dish isn't for eating by itself. Always serve it with steamed rice, some veggies and herbs of your choice, but I suggest you with basil, cucumber or lettuce, etc. And of course, a cold beer. Enjoy guys! Come on, kids are waitin', make me my pizza, by user well-known B. So basically, a few years back, I used to work in a bowling place that was pretty well known in the city for being really vintage and stylish, and especially for the restaurant. This little restaurant had a different name, as it isn't the branding of the place, they just accepted to work in the establishment. They were only located here and nowhere else, so people loved to come over to get their pizza, that was honestly really delicious. So this happened around 7 p.m, I was really just waiting for my shift to end. I had nothing left to do and the place was just empty. This couple around the age of 40 come to me. I obviously had the shirt with the bowling place's name. I smile at them, ask if I can do anything for them. They ask for a large pizza, just cheese. I told them that unfortunately, the restaurant is closed at this time. They look at me, confused, and the man say, "Well, aren't you just there wasting your time?" I didn't know what to say really, other than I don't work in the restaurant, only in the bowling place. Sorry for the confusion. I was starting to cringe a little over the look they gave me. The man said again, "Listen, we have a dinner to bring back, they want your pizza, please make one." I insisted that no, I can't do that, I don't know how, neither do I have the key to open the kitchen. The man just aggressively and loudly said, "Come on, kids are waitin', make me my pizza." I just wanted to get inside the ground. I don't work. I in the restaurant. Sorry. The woman ended up by apologizing and they left. I saw the dude giving me a bad eye by the window. I still feel the cringe of this situation. I'm not holding your mother's ashes hostage, by user Vesikara. TLDR, lady threatens police and legal action against me for supposedly holding her mother's ashes hostage when I have nothing to do with it. I work at a crematorium. Now this crematorium has memorial gardens. My job is sell the sites, administration and customer service. I like to think I'm pretty good at it. The figures definitely show an upward trend since I started 4 months ago. But this crematorium also has a cemetery out front. The division is the car park, where there are council signs giving the name of the cemetery. People constantly call or walk in asking about sites or maintenance or help finding grandma in the cemetery. All I can do is explain that the council controls the cemetery side, maintenance, burials, memorials and records, and give them their office number to call. If they're nice and the inquiry is quick, I'll do it for them. Usually for the nice old ducks looking to visit a friend they haven't been to visit in years. But it's definitely difficult to gauge whether they're talking about the memorial gardens or the cemetery. Especially over the phone, since trying to figure out where to start asking questions is hard for me being autistic. I can only desperately hope I don't seem rude. There is one particular middle-aged woman who doesn't seem to get it, despite multiple explanations. This lady wants to put her mother's ashes with her father's. But since I don't work for the cemetery, I can't help her. I've directed her to the council a few times, but last week she came back in to ask why we hadn't put her mother's ashes into the wall niche yet. Again I tried to explain but she just stared going off. About my tone, about my lack of professionalism, about how disrespectful I'm being. Lady, sneering and interrupting my trying to be helpful explanation, how old are you? Me, sorry. Lady, I asked, how old are you? Me, OER 28. Lady, you're too young for this job. I bet you haven't even lost anyone in your life. No wonder you're so damned disrespectful. Me, getting angry and loud since it's so fresh, well actually I lost my father 6 months ago. His memorial happens to be here in the gardens. The gardens that I work in. Not the cemetery. I don't work for the cemetery. Lady, where's your manager? If you people don't do your jobs I'm going to call the police. You just better do your fucking job or I'll take legal action. It's been weeks. You don't know how to treat people. It's disgusting how you're holding my mother's ashes hostage. Me, look I completely understand that. It's horrible that you haven't been able to lay her ashes to rest and say goodbye but I really can't help you. And my manager is off-site at the moment but I'll give you his number. Lady, I must say your tone has been completely disrespectful. You sound like you don't give a damn. Me, writing my manager's direct number on a business card, oh I'm sorry. I have autism so that's probably why. I truly don't mean to sound. Lady, interrupting loudly, so you're too retarded to do your job. She snatched the paper out of my shaking hand before storming out the door. My anxiety levels were absolutely through the roof. We've received emails and calls of complaint from 3 different family members so far. I'm guessing she's telling them all to contact us specifically. I used to work at a fast food place in a shopping complex, this was the worst story I have, by user QWERTY7873. I worked at a charcoal chicken joint in a small shopping center with about 10 stores in it. The shopping center had a public bathroom on the other side. This is obviously run by center management and the cleaners they hire and not by our chicken shop which is on the other side of the complex and does not have a bathroom. A lady comes in with her baby and is absolutely livid, I'm talking red with rage. It was just me working there because my coworker and manager called in sick for the day so I was trying to think back to any mistakes I may have made and came up empty. She finally gets to the counter and starts yelling telling me I should be ashamed of myself. I ask her what's wrong and say I can rectify the issue I just need her to calm down and tell me the problem. Apparently she had went to use the parent bathroom with her baby and there was urine on the floor and baby shit on the change table and I need to go and clean it right this minute before someone gets AIDS and because her baby needs a change I tell her, sorry but I just work in the chicken shop, the public complex bathrooms are not my responsibility. I tell her she needs to knock on the cleaner's door, opposite the bathroom and they will help. She was huffing about me wasting her time and being entitled but leaves to go to the cleaner's room. At this point I think it's all over but no, about 3 minutes later she comes back even more livid than before and yells the cleaner isn't answering, you need to do IT now. I tell her I'm sorry but I do not know where the cleaner is, I do not work under the same management and again, the bathroom is not my responsibility. She keeps unintelligibly screaming shit so I left to get our record book out back and look at the emergency contacts to find the center manager. I apologize to the lady to try and get her to calm down and offer to call the center manager to see what can be done. I go out back to make the call and the manager picks up and I explain to her I've got a lady screaming at me about a dirty bathroom and I'm working my shift alone and don't know what to do other than to call. She tells me she will call her cleaner and see what's up. She rings back to tell me the other cleaner didn't show up for his shift, and the second cleaner is on break. I hang up and tell the lady that the cleaner will be back within 30 minutes, or she can go to the McDonald's across the street who also has a change table. This was not good enough for her, she reaches behind the counter for a bottle of cleaning spray and literally walks behind the counter to look out the back where she sees a mop. I'm standing there dumbfounded processing the fact she just walked behind the counter and she thrusts the mop bucket and spray at me and tells me if the cleaner is not here it's my responsibility to go and mop it up. I tell her to get out of the kitchen immediately or I'll call the police and she stands there not moving telling me not until I clean it up. At this point I'm like OTAF and tell her if your baby can't wait half an hour or the car ride home, go to the McDonald's. I am not cleaning it. My job is to cook fries and chicken and not to clean the amenities of an establishment I do not work for. She yells no and so I threaten the police again. She stands there as if to call my bluff but I reach for the phone and start dialing. She walks out the door yelling and I think it's finally done now, thank God. 10 minutes later she shows up with the cops saying I threatened her and her baby. I just gave the cops my statement and the video footage, complete with audio, and they threatened instead to arrest her for trespassing. She left slamming the door, got in her car and drove off. That was probably the most insane shift I've worked. Keep in mind, whilst we were not busy at the time, there were customers trying to order and food being cooked the whole time. LMAO.